What do you say, everybody? Let's go ahead and make it official. Let's go ahead and break the news. DaShawn Jones has committed to Alabama. We figured he was going to. That's what we heard. But make it official now on 3, and all of the recruiting services reporting it. I'm hearing it too. And Jones helps Alabama in that secondary where they really needed a lot of help. With only 2 guys back at the cornerback spot with experience, Jones slides in there and he gives Alabama a little bit of a pick-me-up in the transfer portal. So let's just look at it really quick. I'm not going to hold you too long tonight, but I just wanted to tell you that because it is great news for Alabama and Kalen DeBoer to get this done officially. We heard he was going to commit, but then, it took a few days to get that thing to be official. And there were other teams, LSU being one of them, that were hot and heavy after Jones. Everyone seems to need some help at the secondary spot, but Jones has picked Alabama. I think this is one of a few wins that we're going to have here in the next week for Kalen DeBoer and his staff in that transfer portal. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, 6 foot, 170 pounds listed. I think somebody said he was up to like 180. But he went to Mount St. Joseph, which is a really prestigious school up there in the Old Line State. Last year for Wake Forest, 37 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 years of eligibility left for him. So he's a guy that Alabama can honestly just put in that mix. And now they have some experience to kind of bridge the gap from no experience really and a lot of talent to, hey, here's another guy that can slide in there and really help out a unit that needed a ton of help. So that's the news right now, that it's official and that he has said, hey, I'm coming to Tuscaloosa. So a big signing for Alabama, knowing that secondary needed a lot of help. And I feel a lot more comfortable at the safety spot than I have at the cornerback spot. And I think you guys kind of feel the same way. Well, this is maybe the weakest group that Alabama has on the team. And it's because of all the players that they lost to the NFL draft. Also, guys who have transferred out. And so, to be able to go in there and add this guy and basically win a battle for him, I think is a really big deal. So this is a good one for Alabama. Honestly, grabbing him was important. We knew that it was going to happen, but when in this day and age, you're like, okay, is this happening or not? Because you hear it's happening, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, why hasn't this thing materialized yet? So just going over the cornerback spot now for Alabama, you've got a junior in Damani Jackson. And he's the transfer from USC. You got Jaleel Hurley, who was with Alabama last year, didn't play a whole lot. And then you've got all those star guys that are recruits that are coming in, Jalen Mbakwe, he's going to be great from Clay Chalkville. I think he has the potential to be a star, but at the same time, it's going to take some growing pains, right? Zay Mincy, another big one, Zabian Brown. These guys, 5 4-star type talents, but you only had 2 guys with experience in that group, right? And it's because you lost Kool-Aid, you lost Terrion Arnold, but you'll be able to get those guys back because maybe not at Alabama, but obviously now with their new singing career and that Lank country song that they're putting out. Trey Amos, a baffling transfer. Earl Little Jr. left. Antonio Kite flew off. Des Ricks left. Jameer Grimsley, all those guys left. So this was the group that I felt like really left the most to be desired when Nick Saban retired. So to officially have DaShawn Jones now coming to Alabama makes you feel a little bit more comfortable. And it's the depth that you worry about. One guy goes down and you're in big trouble. Forget about just the experience, but now having some depth there as well. So Jones is in. Alabama wrestles him away from, a bunch of other schools that were interested. And, he'll be part of the football program moving forward. So that's all we had. Not a huge show, just jumping on here to get with you guys and say roll tide. Roll tide, Brock. Mimi, roll tide to you. Mike, roll tide. I'm telling you, this is big news. We needed this. Yeah, you should be excited because I'm also telling you guys this is the first of some more that are coming. So we got some other guys that are going to be jumping on here soon. And man, you should get on here with me. If that's really you, Kyle, you should get on with me and talk about this. But roll tide to you too, bro. And all of you guys for hanging out. Just jumping on and talking about this and throwing it out there for you. This isn't a long show. Okay, do you think he'll start beside Jackson? I think he has a good chance to start. I mean, you just don't have a lot of depth in that spot. So, maybe that's the case here for him. Maybe he slides in and starts. But it gives you some depth in that position, and I think that's really important. So roll tide to all you guys. Thanks for hanging out. And, yeah, I think this is really good news. And I'm telling you, when I heard he was coming and we didn't get the commitment, I like to see it in front of me. I like to see it on paper, just like you guys. I like to see it. Like, don't tell me about it and then it doesn't happen, right? So roll tide. Big news for Alabama. And don't forget, tomorrow morning we'll be on with our show. So until then, roll tide, everybody, and thanks for hanging out real quick.